Hey guys, Paul here with Late Night Games, just checking in with you guys as I do every Friday. Not really that much we're going to be going over today, because I don't really have that much to talk about. The convention last week, that was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys have checked out the coverage. I'll throw both links to the con coverage up here. Bam and bam. Now, on day two, it's listed as day 2 here. There's actually about 3 minutes of the vlog before we actually get to the convention. That's because I rolled my vlog and that all into one and done. I also apologize for how scatterbrained I seemed in that, because it was quite an exhausting night by the time I got around to everything. I had quite the hell of a week. This week's thankfully been a little more relaxed. I've managed to get a little bit of a buffer rebuilt on my videos. Still only about a day or two buffer, not the week buffer I used to have, but we'll get back there eventually. This red mug I have here, Tim Hortons. God, I love my coffee. Any Canadians out there already know what Tim Hortons is, I hope to God. Those who aren't Canadian and don't know what Tim Hortons is, it's like Canada's version of Coffee Time, Starbucks, whatever you want to call it, but it's the biggest coffee in Canada is Tim Hortons. And they have the Roll Up the Rim to Win contest, which is denoted by the red cups, where when you're done your coffee, you roll up the rim, and you may win, or you get the chance to play again. On to some news about the channel itself. First, we have Sengoku Basara. In tomorrow's episode, we face Masamune Date. You may recognize that name, as it's the character Robert played as last week when he joined us for a session. We also have Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. This game just launched its second episode last Sunday. Well, supposed to be last Sunday. It didn't end up getting uploaded until Tuesday due to some internet issues and YouTube just deciding it hates me at night. We've been joining our young fledgling vampire as he goes through the world of shadows and deceit that he knew not existed when he was in his living world. He learns the etiquette of proper feeding and why he probably shouldn't kill people. And then he kills some vampires. And although they're vampires turning to dust, and my first thought should be some vampire slayer, for some reason every time one of them busts into that poofy cloud of explosive dust, all that comes through my head is the English dubbed version of Sailor Moon when Sailor Moon would yell out to the enemy, "You're dusted, Buster." I just realized that's a joke on Dustbusters. That's actually rather punny and lame, but punny. Shogun 2 Total War, the last episode, we did a preparation and poised ourselves ready to strike. Monday's episode is pretty much pure combat. Dave and I, poised to strike, finally ambushed the Hatakeyama's final point with a pincer attack. Now, Dave and I are outnumbered 2-1 in this battle. However, we do have superior units. We have samurai, while the only units the enemy has is several Ashigaru units. But still, 2-1 is quite the insurmountable odds. Dave and I definitely don't have an easy time with this, and I'm not going to tell you whether or not we fail miserably or we succeed greatly. But either way, it was one intense battle. That's the least I can tell you. Also, to one of my fellow LPers out there, you know who you are. You are a master at suspense in videos. I mean, what did he do? What did he do? All you hear is, what did you do? What did you... Video ends. Why? Why? Upload the next episode. Upload it, damn it. I can't take the wait. In other news, I know typically on weekends we tended to upload 2 videos per day. Unfortunately, until I get a little bit of a buffer rebuilt, that's not going to be feasible, or until work slows down. Yes, work has become much more manageable now, and it's no longer at the point where I'm not able to get a video up during the day, but getting a buffer of multiple videos a day, I just haven't had the time. I've been working on the weekends, except for the convention last weekend, but that itself was its own little bit of busyness. So for the next couple of weeks, it will only be 1 episode per Saturday and 1 episode per Sunday until I start getting my buffer rebuilt and start getting a couple extra videos there to throw your way. The last thing I want to do is rush through the content and give you something inconsistent and not quite up to snuff. I mean, I do have some level of standard I'm trying to hold this channel to, and I don't want to fail on that for you guys. I'd rather give you a lower amount of good content than a whole lot of crap you don't want to watch. I did initially have plans to do some work on the car today and show you guys a little bit of that. However, the weather this week has been rather snowy, and while it's a nice day out today, I still don't feel like kneeling in the snow while working on the car. So maybe I'll show you guys the car I've been talking about in various videos off and on next week. All depends how the weather turns and whether or not I have the time. And my camera battery is warning me that it's running out soon. I've only been recording for a few minutes. How could it be already dying? One moment, the camera may jostle a bit as I plug it in. And camera position change. Sorry, I had to quickly plug the thing in, otherwise it would die, and, well, I didn't want it dying in the middle of recording because that would kind of suck. Now, of course, since this is a new month, now the third month of the year, and this channel having only started very, very, very late December, so the channel is just over 3 months old now, let's start talking about the future of the channel. We've got a bunch of games on the agenda. I'm gonna toss a couple of them here. Bam, ba-dam, ba-dam, ba-dam. Now, I don't know which of these you guys would be most interested in, or none of them at all. I'm going to leave a full list of my game library down below in the little info thinger down there, so you guys can see what we do have available. I'm definitely not going to be playing everything. I don't have the time to do that, but we do have to start looking into possible other games, as Shogun is probably approaching the latter third. So I don't foresee this lasting much more than a couple more weeks. Knights of the Old Republic, well, that'll still last forever. We haven't left the bloody first station yet, so that game's going to go on for quite some time. Speaking of, I was so happy to be reunited with that character. I'm not going to say who I was reunited with because I don't want to spoil it, but my god, the excitement was just... boom. I was happy. I was really happy. Also, once again, the Star Wars universe proves that people having hands is something the universe is against, because hands keep getting cut off. It's the staple of Star Wars. If you're a character in a Star Wars movie, film, book, odds are you're gonna lose a hand somewhere along the line. It's just common sense. Honestly, I'm surprised, being is that they have giant swords made of pure weaponized laser, that more people don't lose their hands on a more regular basis. Especially since I highly doubt that the ability to construct a lightsaber is really that secretive. I mean, how many bounty hunters probably have a lightsaber here or there, and thus can sell it to be reverse engineered? I mean, yeah, they're complicated devices, and yeah, the Jedi use them as their primary tool, and so did the Sith, but I'm sure anyone can build one. Using them effectively is an entirely other question, but I don't doubt it's possible. And thus, more lost hands. But back to the games we got and their status. I have a funny feeling that the storyline for Sengoku Basara is probably nearing its conclusion. With Masamune Date, we are reaching the far northeast of Japan. All that remains probably afterwards is to start moving our way back. So, at the very least, we're halfway through Punchy McPuncherson's storyline, and at most, we could be nearing the last couple of episodes. So we do have to keep something on the agenda just in case. Now, Vampire being as it just started, that's still got quite a ways to go. It's quite the long game, and when I've played it in the past, I've never actually reached the end of it, so I don't know what the end is like. I know what a couple of these missions are like, but this is my first playthrough as a Tremere, and my first playthrough that I'm planning on going as far in as I can. Wow, I've got some real shadow here in the eye with the lighting. Camera change again! Yeah, I'm not going to be able to fix that shadow. It's just a point in my room that has no light. I'm going to have to get an additional light, I think, to light this area up and beep, light that part of my face up. Maybe balance the light out a bit. Hang on. Ah, cell phone light to the rescue. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not holding the flashlight here the whole time. Not worth it. I also managed to get Star Ocean back from my kid brother. This is one that I've wanted to finish for quite some time. This could be fun for us to play through for a little bit. I also recently picked up Saints Row the Third. I haven't given it a shot yet, but I've heard many good things about it, so I decided to jump on that gravy train. Speaking of, a lot of you may have heard the rumor that THQ is filing for bankruptcy. Now, a lot of people are concerned that this is going to mean the end of some of their great titles like Darksiders and Saints Row. However, this is a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which doesn't mean the end of THQ. It means actually quite the opposite. Chapter 11 is a type of bankruptcy where a company can close off all its assets, receive a source of bailout from an outside supporter, and be able to rebuild from the ground up. American Airlines claimed Chapter 11 bankruptcy not too long ago, and there's still American Airlines planes flying through the sky. Right now, a investor known as the Clear Lake Capital Group has actually purchased THQ and all of THQ's subsidiaries and assets. Now, not only is Clear Lake purchasing THQ, but they have also promised that after the purchase is complete, they're going to continue to invest ample capital to let them finish the games that they're currently working on and develop future games. In short, THQ is not shutting down. THQ is being rebuilt from the ground up with the help of the Clear Lake Capital Group. A Chapter 11 bankruptcy is more of a safety net than a closing down. As I said, American Airlines is one company that's done it. Donald Trump and his companies have claimed Chapter 11 multiple times over the existence of his careers. It's just another way that corporations in America can find a way to rebuild themselves from the ground up by erasing their existing debts and getting a fresh start. Another example of a company that's doing phenomenal after a Chapter 11, MGM Studios filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy 2 years ago. They this year this year just passed, released The Hobbit and Skyfall, two of the biggest movies of the year. So that's the sort of thing that's going on right now with THQ, and if it works so well for MGM, who's to say THQ isn't going to start coming up with some real gold now? So I'm really excited to see what happens there. Now, the reason why they haven't said that the Clear Lake deal is done is once a company files Chapter 11, basically all their assets go up for auction to the highest bidder. So while Clear Lake is currently the ones that are in the forerunning and the ones that are in negotiations and promising the most and the best for THQ, they have to leave the bidding war open for at least a month or so the deal hasn't been finalized. As soon as I hear back any more on this, though, I will let you guys know. But that's about all I have for today. I'll talk to you guys through the videos throughout the week, and also I'll see you guys next Friday. If you like what you see on this channel, make sure to hit a like down below. You can always reach me on Facebook or Twitter, and you can also reach me down in the comment section below. I'm always happy to field your questions and talk to you guys. The interaction with you guys is probably the thing that keeps me doing this as much as I do. So go ahead and drop me a line. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to this channel to keep up to date on all our future video releases. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, we'll see you next time, guys. This is Paul, signing out.